The second unique unit to come to Conqueror's Blade that is a mixture is the Season 10 Houndsmen. This unit combines archers and dogs to bring a new style to Conqueror's Blade. So, how have they looked during the preview event? Disclaimers first, this information and footage was from the preview event for Season 10. Some things may have changed since then, so keep that in mind as we continue. With that out of the way, Houndsmen are a 5-star Golden Era unit. During Season 10, they will cost you 310 leadership in your warband, though they will increase after Season 10. The unit has 7 stages worth of challenges. During Stage 1, you will get 30 unit medals and the 3-day contract. Stage 2 has 30 more unit medals and the Houndsman Toughness Doctrine as well. It reduces hunters' damage taken by 10. Stage 3 is 150 unit medals. Stage 4 is 30 more medals and the unit unlock at the end. Stage 5 has 240 total unit medals. Stage 6 is 40 medals plus the Houndsman Hunter Doctrine. It increases the bleed damage of Hunter's Will by 100 points. Stage 7 finishes with 40 medals and the Avatar. Houndsmen have 4 traits. Trained Hunters. Enemies hit will suffer bleeding for 2 seconds. Loyal Hound. The hunting hounds will attack any foe that attack this unit. This reduces enemy attacks and movement speeds. Man's Best Friend. An enemy attacked by a hunter or a hound will take even more damage when attacked by the other as well. When all hunters are killed, the hounds will continue to surround and attack enemies for 5 seconds before dying. When all hounds have been killed, the attack of hunters will be increased by 120% permanently. Highlanders. For the duration of Season 10, this unit's leadership cost is reduced. There are 2 formations for Houndsmen. Dispersed, a loose formation that reduces unit vulnerability to ranged weapons. Stand Ground. The unit spreads out slightly with their hounds to the front, good for ranged attacks. You can order 3 different orders for Houndsmen. Hunting Stance. The hunters assume a hunting stance and launch 3 arrows in quick succession. Hobbling Shots. The hunters fire a volley of arrows in a target direction that slow enemies hit. Get 'em. Hounds charge in the designated direction and gnash enemies along the way. After using this, you can use the Heal skill, and that's H-E-E-L. We have 2 Veterancy lines to choose from. Before either line is a 5% increase to rate of fire. The top line focuses on the archers and their damage. Some notable nodes are the increase to bleed damage, increase to triple arrows damage, increase of damage to infantry, and Hobbling Shots triggers Hunter's Will. The bottom line focuses more on the utility of the unit orders. Some nice improvements are the increase to damage against slowed enemies, increase of the slow duration, and damage reduction effects, reduction to Hobbling Shots cooldown, and reduction of damage to hounds from infantry for 2 seconds after impact. My initial reaction to these 2 lines are to go with the top line. The bleed and damage of the archers is really good. They do slightly more damage than Imperial archers with slightly less penetration, but, and big but here, they have bleed. So the top line's improving their damage and bleed makes them even more deadly. With that aside, the Hobbling Shots will help counter charges, so cooldown reduction is great. Plus, hounds up their damage as long as they are staying alive, so the reduction is nice. Only real siege battle testing will let us know for sure, but I'm starting with the top line. Getting into doctrines, I plan to run the Sharpshooter's Doctrine, Epic Archery Doctrines 2 and 4, Epic Battle Line Doctrine, and their Houndsman Hunter Doctrine. This is all the damage increase doctrines that are available. I didn't get much testing done with Houndsmen, but what we did you will see on the screen as I talk about the results. One of the most impressive things about Houndsmen is their range potential. On the top line, you get 116 meters on the range, which is the same as longbowmen. If you run the bottom line, you get up to 143 meters. With that being said, we don't know if it's a bug, but during the PTR, I could not get them to auto attack me outside of around 60 meters. If you use the unit's orders though, they did manage to attack me out at around 140 meters. This is a very impressive range that I am sure some warlords are very excited about. With that aside, due to how their hound mechanics work, I don't imagine they should really be used as a sniping unit unless the hounds are dead and you have the permanent buff. I did test them against a unit of longbowmen to see which would win a snipe contest, and it was not really a contest, with the Houndsmen coming out on top. This is even with the longbowmen firing first, since the Houndsmen had to get a bit closer to get within 60 meters to auto attack. We also tried to put the hobbling shots to test by charging some armigers at the unit. Obviously, in the 1v1, the armigers came out on top. But the impressive part is that the hobbling shots is an attack area attack, so they can lay down the fire in a path and disrupt charges that attempt to come through, with the obvious exceptions that can't be slowed. The Houndsmen are a unit that brings a very different gameplay this season, managing the Hounds so that you can get your damage increase, yet utilizing the strong damage and bleed that the archers bring will bring a more active gameplay to a ranged unit. And you really should manage those Hounds. I plan to use these archers as more of a hit and run unit. Get in place, send in the Hounds, get some damage laid down, then pull back and move, constantly putting in bursts of damage with the hunting stance. Also, if you see a large enemy front, laying down hobbling shots to slow their advance and disrupt any charge attempts will be big. If they have a proper shield wall, Houndsmen cannot penetrate it very well. Their Hounds, though, can get behind it and get you buff when a rare arrow does land, but it is very rare. Otherwise, this unit does feel and play like a Golden Era unit. Just don't let a unit get too close to those archers. Warlords, on the other hand, well, they have a surprise for them. I hope this video about the Houndsmen got you excited about Season 10 Highlanders. If it did, please like the video and subscribe. With that aside, until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.